Welcome to the Kennedy Report. I'm Kennedy Hall. Has Pope Francis stopped the Great Reset? Did he defeat Klaus Schwab? I don't know. The Pope versus Dr. Evil. Now, before I continue, if you are new to this channel, thank you for coming. You can go to thekennedyreport.com to see all of our content. Click the link in the description. We are upgrading the studio, getting professional lighting and equipment and all these sorts of things. We're going to be doing on-the-scene stuff. I'm looking to do a Fulton Sheen project where I'm going to actually do a lot of digging to the archives and put together some videos, sort of resurrecting a lot of his stuff in ways that haven't been done before. So we need your support to do that. Please look in the description of this video. There's a donate button. There is a premium subscriber option coming. That's a way to help out as well. Thank you for all your support. It's been overwhelming. The donations have been wonderful to everyone who has. I really appreciate it. Okay, so did Pope Francis stop the Great Reset? Has he defeated Klaus Schwab? Well, here's the thing. If you don't know whether or not Pope Francis performed the consecration of Russia, it's my personal opinion that he did. In our last video, we talked about, did Sister Lucia, predict the Great Reset? And it's my opinion that we can say she did, at least indirectly, because she did say that global communism would come if there was no consecration of Russia the way that Our Lady asked for. Well, Great Reset, lockdown communism, inspired by China. I mean, we're living in an age where there's certain things you cannot say on the internet because you're controlled. You can't criticize certain illnesses. You can't criticize certain medicines. This is the world we live in. I mean, if you don't think that we live in a communist society, just look at what Justin Trudeau did to those poor truckers. It's pretty... it's pretty obvious. I mean, the Prime Minister of Canada literally says that he admires he literally said, when he was running for office, he said, I admire China's basic dictatorship because they can turn their economy on the dime. He's a totalitarian. He's an apostate Catholic. Communism is here. Anyway, so at this point, it's my opinion, and I share this with lots of other people, that there's no natural solution to this. You can't convince people that believe a man can win a female swimming competition. You can't convince people like that of the truth. I mean, without some sort of miracle. It's going to take some sort of interior illumination of grace or some sign from heaven. I mean, you can't convince people who believe that everybody has to take the same medicines in order for the medicines to work. I mean, can you imagine if you said to everybody, if you don't all take Advil, your Advil's not going to work and your headaches won't go away. If you don't all wear helmets, your helmets aren't going to protect your heads. If somebody else is not wearing a helmet, that's a danger to your head, even though you have a helmet on. We live in an insane society. The only solution in the church and in society is something miraculous, is something from heaven. The only way to fix this human disaster is going to be something from heaven. Well, what could that thing be? That thing could be the consecration of Russia to the Immaculate Heart of Mary. We talked about in our last video what Sister Lucy said to William Thomas Walsh in the 1940s. And she said that basically global communism would come if the consecration of Russia to the Immaculate Heart of Mary in the way that Our Lady asked for, which I believe happened with Pope Francis, and I did a full video on that. You can check that out on our channel. It's a couple of videos back. I believe that it happened. So what did she say would happen if the consecration did happen? She said, if this is done, she will convert Russia and there will be peace. What is peace? Peace is the tranquility of order. And also, we can look back to 1931. We did a video a couple weeks ago about what would happen in the triumph of the Immaculate Heart. And we look into Portugal in 1931. I'll just explain it in brief. But essentially, it was a country overrun by Freemasons. Freemasons, communists, Great Reset, whatever. Flip a coin. They're all the same thing. It's all from the same satanic source. They all want the same things. They want to control your life. They want you to hate God. They want you to give up the Catholic religion. They want you to think the way. I mean, it's all the same. It's Orwell talk. All these predictions about these technocratic communist societies. It's Freemasons. It's Illuminati. It's Great Reset. Whatever. It's all these things. Okay. You call them. The devil wears different costumes or something like that. Let's put it that way. So we saw in Portugal when they consecrated that nation to the Immaculate Heart in 1931 that they basically defeated Freemasonry in that nation for a long time. They basically defeated communism. They had a communist situation. And then years later, in the mid-1970s, they had a communist government get voted in. They had a massive rosary movement, and they defeated that government. So we're living in a situation right now globally where there is no solution to this. It's not going to be through Donald Trump. It's not going to be through, some populist leader, as much as you might like those people. That's fine. But they're not going to do it because they can't. They're not. It's a battle between the principalities and dominions. It's a battle between heaven and hell. As strong as a man may be who's in charge, whatever his flaws may be, but as strong as he may be, he's not going to defeat the sulfuric powers of hell on his own. It has to come from heaven. Pope Francis is the Pope, and he did the consecration. I'm going to talk about in our next video about why I believe it's possible Pope Francis had a conversion and why he is leading to the restoration of the church. That's just my opinion. But just for a second here, you might think to yourself, well, Pope Francis he's been supporting all this stuff. Of course he has. Yeah. But he did the consecration of Russia. So he's the Pope. He did what Our Lady asked. Our Lady had promises. It's not dependent on whether or not you like Francis. It's not dependent on whether or not Francis has been a good Pope. Not at all. It's just dependent on whether or not the thing takes place and by the person who's the Pope. That's it. And if you think Benedict's still the Pope, he did it too. So I think it's very likely that we're going to see the collapse of this situation we've been going through. I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, but I believe in the promises of Our Lady of Fatima, and I believe the consecration was fulfilled. So I'm not going to call our mother a liar, and I think she's going to deliver. So did Pope Francis defeat Klaus Schwab in the Great Reset? Well, indirectly, he may have, because he's the instrument, however imperfect, he's the instrument who performed the consecration of Russia, and let's see when these promises come true. If you've enjoyed this video, please click the link in the description to get on our mailing list by going to the website, thekennedyreport.com. We have a donation link. We're going to be adding more content and building up the channel. So please go to thekennedyreport.com, click the links in the description. And in fact, if you do want to buy my book, Terror of Demons, it's right here. I think this is an important book for this time that we're in as well. And I also have a book called Lockdown with the Devil. If you love C.S. Lewis, you'll like that book. Okay. All that's in the description. Thank you so much. God bless. Thank you to everyone who's been supporting us, and we'll talk to you soon.